Hey, our next guest is Mike Pruitt, and of course we love to talk to publicly traded companies. Mike Pruitt is the founder, chairman, and CEO of Chanticleer Holdings. You know what Chanticleer is?
Nah, I have no idea.
You don't know what a Chanticleer is?
Chanticleer?
Yeah.
Huh?
I'm gonna let you look it up. I'm gonna let you figure it out.
Oh,
He founded the company in 2005. They are a owner, operator, and franchiser of multiple restaurant brands, both internationally and domestically. And we're glad to have him on the air. Mike, thanks for swinging by today, pal. I see there's Hooters T-shirts on my TV screen here.
Wow.
Oh, we don't have them yet. Okay,
God bless him.
So that whole part about him waiting on the hold was inaccurate. But look at this. So Chanticleer.
Chanticleer?
I think Chanticleer means rooster, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that thing. Yeah.
I believe it does.
Yeah. I've seen the logo somewhere.
Mike Pruitt, founder, chairman, and CEO with us on there. Hey, Mike, can I ask you why I've got Hooters girls on my screen here? Because it makes me a happy guy.
Well, we're one of the owners of Hooters, as our stock symbol reflects, HOTR, and so where I sit on the board of.
You know, my entire life, I will never be able to say I'm one of the owners of Hooters unless I buy the stock. Then I can't I? Right? If I buy some stock, I can say I'm one of the owners of Hooters.
I'm trading up right now.
Believe me, I got a lot of buddies that go into Hooters and tell everyone they do own part of this company.
Yeah, you buy one share, Russ. Okay, you buy one share. Hey, I'm one of the owners of Hooters.
That's
good to see you. My name's Russ.
Girls. I just worked with a couple gals from Hooters.
Mike,
they had a golf tournament.
Mike, talk to us about Chanticleer Holdings because obviously you guys are purveyors of multiple restaurants. But give us an overview of this as a publicly traded company. What do you guys do exactly?
Well, today we own 52 branded restaurants, and as our symbol reflects HOTR, the journey began with a minority ownership in the Hooters restaurant brand, where I sit on the board of Hooters. And today we have 15 Hooters locations that are open, 2 domestically here in the U.S., up in Washington State and Portland, Oregon, with 13 international locations led by South Africa, where we have 6, Australia 5, 1 in the U.K., and 1 in Budapest, Hungary.
The interesting part about this is I don't think a lot of people realize that. Now, can we say that Hooters is publicly traded because they're under your umbrella?
Well, no. Hooters, the parent company, is privately held, even though we do own a minority stake in the brand, and I do sit on the board. It is majority owned by 2 private equity funds who are my partners in the deal, and it is privately held. Having said that, to your point, if you do buy, HOTR, the stock, you in fact are in effect part owner of the Hooters restaurant brand.
What is Mike? By the way, Mike Pruitt is the chairman and CEO of Chanticleer Holdings, and they are a purveyor and owner, operator, and franchisor of several restaurant chains around the country. They're publicly traded, by the way. Their stock symbol HOTR, and of course their website chanticleerholdings.com, which is up on the. So our TV audience can see that. If you're listening to us on the radio or listening to us on Armed Forces Radio, we'll direct you to the site. Mike, I'm going to keep you longer than you anticipate. I'm going to keep you here to the end of the show because I want to talk to you about a couple of things. First of all, I want to talk to you about the restaurant and hospitality business as it relates to minimum wage coming across, because I got to believe that's killing restaurants right now because of the because of that. Number 2, what is the future of restaurants hold because it's turning into sort of a different space where and here in San Diego, by the way, we are.
In my portfolio right now, I am currently holding Hooters.
I know
that just looks good on the resume.
I know you are.
Who else is holding Hooters out there?
Mike Pruitt, our guest, founder, chairman, CEO of Chanticleer Holdings. It's a big biz show, 70 million TV homes strong, 150 radio stations, 175 countries, and all the ships at sea. More from Chanticleer Holdings and what it's like to own. Well, I'm a part owner of Hooters, Russ. But Mike Pruitt is the founder, chairman, and CEO of Chanticleer Holdings. Chanticleer Holdings is an owner, operator, and franchisor of multiple restaurant chains, including Hooters, probably one that you heard. Hey, Mike, before I get too far here, talk to us about your management team, because every time I get a company on the air, I fail to ask who's sort of in the lunchroom there, because that's probably the most important part of this thing is who's driving the bus, right?
Absolutely. That's the great thing about our concepts, where we've brought in amazing talent. Rich Adams, who runs our burger business, 35-year history with chains like Carl's Jr., Hardee's, and then most recently a long-standing with Bojangles before leaving Bojangles to come start our burger business with us through the acquisition of American Roadside Burger. We just brought in Mark Robertson as our Chief Operating Officer. Mark had spent part of his past career at Krispy Kreme, where he was head of financial reporting before becoming the CFO and then CEO of a NASDAQ-listed gaming company. So And then internationally, we have owner partners, operating partners in each of the countries that we do business with. And so,
let's talk about that. Talk about because I know that there's
South Africa.
Yeah, I mean there's Little Big Burger in Australia. I know that I read a little bit about on your website. Talk to us about some of the international chains that you guys own, operate, and franchise.
well, the main chain that we internationally, I mean, Hooters is the one who took us international, and that was largely through initially South Africa, where we now have 6 stores. Australia, where we originally were a JV partner and then bought out our partner, and we're in the process of even increasing our stake there in Australia with the Hooters. And then we bought the Nottingham, England, which happens to be the number 3 international location for Hooters in the top 15 in the world. And then Budapest, where we opened, and then we bought 2 stores there. But with the acquisition that we completed in March with BGR, the burger joint out of D.C., which is continually one best burger in D.C., they also had franchising set up, and today they have 12 franchise locations open with 80 more under development agreement. Half of those are international, and the first 2 opened in Kuwait, and
wow,
with a third under construction there. So we're excited with that concept to take it international, take advantage of that footprint that Hooters has allowed us to establish in some key markets internationally, and grow both domestically and internationally. And then you brought up Little Big Burger. That's a concept that we have under definitive agreement to purchase up in Portland, Oregon. It's an award-winning concept, 8 locations, 9th under construction. And as I mentioned, we also have the Hooters in Portland as well. So
you're not busy. So you're basically golfing all day. I can see with your spare time here.
Wow.
You know what's interesting as we talk about this is that how long the Hooters concept has remained relevant.
Yeah.
Because as restaurants come and go, Mike, and I want to talk about that. As here in San Diego, obviously we're a big craft brew center. We've turned into sort of a restaurateur's delight, especially in the Village concept here in San Diego, California, where we emanate the broadcast from. I'll tell you what, if you think about iconic brands that stand the test of time in the restaurant business, there's not many. What do you attribute that to? Is it pretty girls? Is it great food? Is it the chicken wings? Is it all the above, or is it good marketing?
Well, I mean, look, when Mr. Brooks, founded Hooters of America, Hooters was actually founded in Clearwater by 6 guys. I mean, it's the basic concept of good food, cold beer, sports, pretty girls, never go out of style.
Yeah.
And on October the 3rd, we'll celebrate our 33rd anniversary. So
Wow.
It has passed the test of time. And what is even more exciting for me and us, Chanticleer and HOTR being part owners of the Hooters brand, in the last 4 years since we purchased it after the death of the founder, who was a dear friend of mine, the profits have doubled. So
Wow.
it still is a brand that's not only relevant, to use a great word that you brought up, but it's a brand that's growing. And right in your backyard, you're right. I've been to San Diego many times, and it's a great food town, but the Mission Valley store in San Diego is a top performing store in the chain as well.
And this is a great city to find some beautiful women.
That's
to
exactly.
work anywhere.
So, and Russ,
Not only that,
Russ wants to apply.
I didn't know
to,
they had
to be HR manager.
I didn't know they had sports going on at Hooters. I never looked up.
Hey, by the way, they're publicly traded. Their stock symbol HOTR, and I will tweet that out to our 21,000 Twitter followers. And of course, Chanticleer Holdings is the name of the company. They're a NASDAQ company. Once again, stock symbol HOTR. You can go to chanticleerholdings.com. Where does the restaurant space go from here? Please tell me we're not going into. Let me tell you something about what we're walking into these days. We're walking into sort of homogenized fast food places popping up in the Midwest. I don't want to see that happen here in San Diego. Where do you think the next 6 years takes the restaurant business, Mike?
Oh, I think it's only going to get better. I think even as in the 4 years since we've owned Hooters, I mean, we've spent a great deal of time making our food better because the consumer's demanding it. And whether it's burgers, in the case, of our better burger concepts, the consumer, especially this millennial generation, are certainly willing to pay up for high quality food, and they want it in a place where they can see it prepared. They know the ingredients. They feel comfortable with what they're eating, and it absolutely has to taste great. And the environment in which the restaurant that they're in there, that's got to be a fun environment that they want to go back to. And so I see it only getting better, and I think places like San Diego, where you live in, are leaders in what's going to happen in terms of around the country in terms of the food. And so We own another concept, but I did mention called Just Fresh, which is a healthier.
Yeah,
eating.
Yeah, we just showed that. We just showed that there on the
Now
on,
that
on the
looks
TV
like
screen.
would be the trend. Healthy eating, like a paleo bar.
Yeah,
or something like that
you're
for the
talking about
caveman.
millennials. I mean, is that sort of the angle there? Because we just saw that on the TV screen here as we're showing our audience.
Actually, the angle is no different. I'm sitting talking to you in New York, even though our corporate office is in Charlotte. I'm up here for an investor conference. It's a concept that people grab and go, heavy oriented to breakfast, catering, lunch, where people want a fresh, healthier option. For whether it's in the morning for breakfast with a whole wheat wrap, even though they may put egg and cheese on it, to organic coffee, to green smoothies, fruit smoothies. So
good stuff. Hey, Mike, listen. First of all, we'd love to have you back. Fantastic story. And next time you're in San Diego, please give us a call. Come by the studio, and we'll.
And love to hear Sully. You guys are involved with the armed services. That's a big charitable part of Hooters, and so.
Well, believe me, we're going to hit you up for some money for Challenge Athletes Foundation, big boy. So stand by there. Thanks so much, Mike Pruitt, CEO, founder of Chanticleer. By the way, it's publicly traded HOTR. That does it for us.